Hello everyone. Let's get back to the file handling in C programming. Okay, so this is files in PPS as well. So in this session, we'll discuss about formatted input output. Under that, we'll see fprintf and fscanf, and also we'll discuss three special streams, which are standard input, standard output, and standard error. Let's get into the details. So far in the earlier sessions, we were discussing about the standard library functions for files, right? So under that, we have seen the first one, file open close, and then we also have seen the usage of character input output. Now let us see the usage of formatted input and output. So under formatted input and output, we already know we have printf and scanf for this input and output. So now with respect to files, we have fprintf and fscanf. Okay, so first coming to writing to a file with the help of fprintf. What is the use of fprintf? It is to write onto the file. Printf will write whatever custom message that you supply on the output screen, right? In the same way, fprintf will help you to write onto the file. Fprintf works just like printf, except that its first argument is a file pointer. So here you can see the syntax. So we need a file pointer and we are opening it in write mode. And if you see the syntax here, okay, in printf, simply you will supply the custom message in between double quotes, right? So here we are supplying one more argument as the file pointer as the first argument. Next, if you want to print the values of two variables onto the file, so then supply the first argument as the file pointer followed by %d, comma a comma b. So here we are assuming a comma b as integers. So the corresponding access specifiers are %d and %d. Okay, so this is how you can make use of fprintf. Let us also see how to read data using fscanf. Okay, scanf is for reading data from the input device, right? So here from the file we will be reading the data. Fscanf also works just like scanf, except that its first argument is a file pointer. Okay, so let's see the syntax. So here you can see the first one is a file pointer followed by the same syntax that we follow for scanf. So here we want to read the values of x and y. So we are supplying in between the double quotes %d followed by %x comma %y. Okay. So now, so here everything is written onto the file. To see what is written on the file, what we need to do, we should go back to the file and see what is written. And also, when you read the values, you are reading, but where those values should be displayed, or how you can check what are the values you have displayed. Okay, so for that, you can take the help of the streams. Okay, so the three special streams are, so these are defined in the header file stdin.h itself, the same library. So they are written in the header file std io.h itself, sorry. The same header file, regularly what we are using, std io.h. It is there in this file itself. So now under that, the first stream is stdin. Okay, standard input. So this reads input from the keyboard. stdout, standard output. So this sends output to the screen, output screen. Standard error. stderr stands for standard error. So this prints errors to an error device. Okay, suppose if you attach any other device other than your output screen, so it will be displayed on that. Otherwise, usually on the output screen only, we can see this error. So let's have an hands-on for this. Okay, so if you just want to see the usage of this, I'll give you an example here itself. Okay, so using fprintf. So first, on the output screen, I just want to print give value of I. And then with the help of fscanf, I want to read the value of this. So we will be using standard input. We are using standard input only. You can read the input from the keyboard, right? So this as the first argument we are giving. In earlier case, we have seen in fprintf and fscanf, the first argument is the file pointer. since we are dealing with the streams, the first argument will be the stream. Okay. So the first stream that we have used here is stdout. So this will print the value on the output screen. So whatever you have given in between these double quotes, that will be displayed on the screen. And now I want to read the value of this I. So I can use stdin. And whatever value is read, so the same thing if you want to display, again we are using stdout. And if you want to display an error message, so then you can give the first argument as stderr followed by the error message in between the double quotes. Okay, so let's practice this. Okay, the three streams, first let us practice with the streams and then we'll see how to work with the files along with the streams. Okay, so first we are seeing, we are including the header file stdout.h and let's declare a file pointer. Otherwise, first let us see only the usage of the streams itself. Okay, so I'm declaring two integer variables and then we are using fprintf. So to this fprintf, it will accept two arguments, either a file pointer or a stream. Okay, so let us give stdout, the first string. So using this, you can display any custom message on the screen. Usage of streams. So this is what I want to display. And then I want to read the values of A and B. So I can make use of the string stdin. And then in between the double quotes, since it is an integer, so we have to use %d, comma, the same syntax that you follow for scanf, A, comma, B. Okay. So then, if you want to see what are the values that you have given. Okay, so with the help of fprintf, let's once again use stdout and display those values. %d, comma, A, comma, B. Let us also see the usage of stderr. The first argument should be the string stderr. And here you can give sample error message. So whatever you want to display, so that you can supply here. And here while printing, if you want to just have some space between the numbers, let me give %5d. Let's compile this. Okay, so you can see usage of streams. And now why the cursor is waiting? It is waiting for the input. So you have to enter two values, right? So you can see whatever values you have entered. So the same thing here you got, and the error message also is displayed. Okay, so now here if you want to add one extra statement to enter the values of A and B. So if the cursor is simply waiting, most of the people will get confused why it is waiting. Okay, so enter two integer values. Okay, so let's run this again. So okay, you can see the first message, usage of streams, and then it is asking for enter two integer values. Let us enter. I have entered 23 and 45. So you can see 23 and 45 got displayed, and the error message also. Okay, so we can use same like the printf statement. So here, if you want to add values of A and B and a column, so this is also possible. So let us enter two integer values, 12 and 34 I have given this time. So you can see values of A and B is 12, 34 and a sample error message. So now let us see how can we use these streams and what is the advantage of these streams in our file programming. Okay, I'll remove all this. Okay, so let's declare a file pointer, file star ex. Purposefully I'm giving a different name so that you should come out of the intention that always the file name should start with F only. It is not like that. So here let us give form in out dot dat. Let us open this in write mode because we want to write something onto the file and then we will read the content from the file and we will display. Okay. If ex is equals to null, let's write our error message. So this time let us display that error with the help of stderr. Okay. Error in opening the file. And let's use exit as well. Otherwise, if the file is opened successfully, so then what we want? We want to read the values of A and B and write it onto the screen. Okay. So first let us give a printf. Okay. So you should know that you should enter two values. So something should be there on your output screen as well. So I'm using stdin. Oh, sorry. So this should be passed as the first argument. stdin. Enter. Enter values of. I'll show you one more way also. First, let us see this. Enter values of A and B. So then, with the help of fscanf, fprintf itself, we will first read. Okay, so first I want to have this message on the screen, so it should be stdout. So when you want to read the values, let's make use of stdin, comma. We already have seen this. So let me initialize A and B. If you want to read these values, you can read as well. For A, I'm assigning a value 16 and for B, I'm assigning a value 67. Okay. Let us write this onto our file. So our file pointer is ex, comma. So these two values we want to write. So the same syntax that we follow for printf, percentile D, percentile D. So if you want to make use of the format specifier, that also you can use. Let's display these two onto the file. Now let's use fscanf as well and let's read what is written to this file. So once again we are using the file pointer percentile D, comma, ampersand A, comma, ampersand B. Okay. Exit. Okay. I have not included stdlib.h, so only it is giving that error message. Let's include. Let's recompile. Let's run it. Enter the values of A and B. Okay. Only some custom message is been displayed here, but actually we have initialized the values. Now let's go to this file and see form inout.dat. File open. Here is our file. Okay, so here you can see the values 16 and 67 are written onto the file. Okay. So with the help of fprintf, the values of A and B successfully we have written. And we have read those values also. But you are not assigning it to any other thing, or even you are not displaying on your output screen. So now let us make use of fprintf and let's display these values. I'll copy this printf statement. Values of A and B. Percentile D, percentile D, comma, A, comma, B. So now whatever values are read from the file, the same thing you can see here. So here the custom message that we give is writing values of A and B onto the file. Writing, otherwise simply give writing to the file. So here you can see writing to the file, values of A and B are 16 and 67. I have not given a new line character. So everything is getting displayed in the same way. So the same values are there in the file. The same values we have retrieved with the help of fscanf and we displayed it on the output screen. And I told you that I'll show you one more way also, right? So you can use stdin and you can read these values instead of assigning like this. You can input the values also. Since that we already tried, I don't want to show it here. Okay. Simply if you want to use scanf also, you can use scanf and you can take the values of A and B and that you can copy it to your file. Hope you followed the session. If you have any queries, please let me know in the chat section. And also if you require any other topics also, please let me know. If you like the content, do like, share and subscribe.